I think those who have really should be giving to those who have not. I'm talking about on an international scale as well as within the United States. Well, a lot of my life has been a series of accidents, I think, and I was in the Navy for a while in World War II, and when I was discharged, I had no plans what to do, so I went to work in my father's sawmill pulling green chains. Some people around will know what that means. It was pretty hard and heavy work in August, and I spent a month doing that and started thinking about there must be something better than this to do for the rest of my life. Looked into Southern Oregon College of Education, it was called at that time. It was only about 3 or 4 blocks from where I lived in Ashland. I was taking a course in general psychology, and we studied measurement and statistics, that sort of thing. I gave my father all the tests that I could that didn't require equipment, wrote my one-page report, turned it in, and the professor who was running the Veterans Testing Bureau talked me into quitting a 95-cent an hour job I had cutting meat in the local butcher shop, going to work for him for 50 cents an hour. And I was pretty convinced psychology must be a pretty strong thing to study. At that time, we were expected to teach 5 3-hour courses a quarter, and not having done that before or had any lesson plans worked out for these classes I was teaching, it was quite a job. Then I got more involved with teaching the things I wanted to teach. I taught intelligence testing. I directed the reading clinic. I was involved in teaching a course when we started the master's degree here in research methods and education, something like that, that every master's degree student took, and that was very interesting. Dr. Brody was assigned to be my mentor by the administration when I came to OCE as a young assistant professor. He was very influential in many ways on, I think, in terms of my later career, not just while I was here. One of the things, I share an office with him, and one of the things that he was doing was going to the migrant farm workers camps on the weekends, and that made quite an impression on me, and I became interested in diversity through the experience with him. My wife and I, my wife was Dr. Ana Munel Sandoval, wanted to honor him in some way, and so we talked to people here at OCE, and we eventually came up with this plan for a memorial scholarships, which are called the David S. Brody Memorial Scholarships. And there have been, I believe, 18 scholarships now that people received, and these scholarships cover the cost of tuition, fees, books, and living expenses. 2 things that should be mentioned here. One is that the training that they receive here at Western Oregon allows them to immediately become employed in whatever it is they study. They're not all in education by any means. Had 4 children, and they were a captive audience. It was either help or maybe not eat. I don't know what what the sticks were that we held out, but they were always the first subjects to try any new test items. After I left Oregon College of Education, I went to Greeley, the College of Education there, and I was there for 2 years. I went from there to Peabody College at Vanderbilt, and from there I became an editor of a test publishing company up in Minnesota called the American Guidance Service. After I worked there for a while, I saw the opportunity to do some advanced postdoctoral work at Tufts Medical School in Boston. During the course of my year there, I felt very dissatisfied with the tests that they were being used in neuropsychology, and I thought there ought to be a better set of tests available. So I spent a lot of that year thinking that through and coming up with a set of tests. There'd never been like a combined battery of intelligence or cognitive ability tests and achievement tests all together in the same package, or a set of tests opposed to use the same books and materials all the way from preschool to geriatric population. And it was a big success. After the first Woodcock-Johnson was published, which of course was all in English, and it was published in 1977, we became interested in publishing a Spanish alternative to the Woodcock-Johnson. And in talking to various people who worked in this field, Jim Cummins' name kept coming up as a very important bilingual educator. He's in Toronto, and so we made contact with him, or I did, and went to see him, and he worked with us, giving us advice, and eventually was even co-author of some of the bilingual verbal ability tests that we developed. I'm convinced, and Jim Cummins had a lot to do with this, that bilingual education programs are very important because a student needs to develop knowledge about things, concepts, and then can transfer that vocabulary into English and go from there with it, and not be in an English-only situation, which I think is very harmful. And my understanding is that people who are placed in that role have a great deal of difficulty ever advancing very far. Take a course or two in engineering, or take a course or two in dance, whatever, but broaden so that you have a wide repertoire of experiences to draw upon to help you think about a problem. People that are going to be the most effective in research are going to be people who have exposure and training in a number of areas, not just in education. My first impression continued through until my last impression, as I was really amazed at the functionality and the beauty and the size of the building. I had seen plans, of course, on paper, and I had watched the construction via the camcorder you have up on, I guess it's a library building, but I had no idea what it was going to be like when I came here and saw it in person. It's amazing.